Yo everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to, click that red button right there. And the regular stuff and stuff like that, share, like, and that. And if you guys haven't checked out my Discord, go do that as well. Just click that link down there. And you guys can come to my Discord and start chatting with me. That's where I mainly start chatting with people. And other than that, guys, let's get straight into the intro.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Okay guys, let's not waste any more time and let's jump straight into the what if. So we start off with Deku standing on the other side of Bakugo as All Might's holding Bakugo's hand as Bakugo was about to explode Izuku's face. As all of a sudden, as Izuku was about to start talking, a voice in Izuku's head started to tell him to kill Bakugo, to kill All Might, to kill everyone there, to start killing, to make everyone suffer for what they did. As Izuku started yelling no, 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 as immediately as Izuku turned into a Titan, as Izuku crouched to the ground holding his ears as a Titan. But Izuku in his mind was still suffering as the voice got louder and louder, as Izuku thought to himself, telling himself that he'll never become a villain. Then Izuku closes his eyes as a Titan as he escapes into his mindscape. As Izuku opens his eyes in his mindscape, he sees himself, but an older version of him. As Izuku looked at it in his eyes, he saw that that person had no hope, as that person's eyes looked dead. As Izuku asked who he was, as the person just continued saying the same words, telling him that he should kill everyone there, he should kill Bakugo, he should kill All Might. As Izuku said no, he won't kill anyone there, and that he'll never become a villain. As that person laughed, and told Izuku that his destiny is to become a villain, and that the only way to save everyone is to become a villain. As Izuku said no, he'll save everyone with his own ideologies, and he'll save everyone becoming a hero. As that person laughed, telling Izuku that there's no way that's gonna happen. As Izuku gets frustrated, he rushes at that person and throws a punch. But then, the older Izuku just dodges his younger Izuku's attack and told Izuku that he's inferior to him. He's the weakest link out of all of them. He's the weakest out of all the Titans. As Izuku wondered what this man is talking about. As the older Izuku continued talking, telling Izuku that there's no way that Izuku will become a hero, and that his destiny will make him a villain. As Izuku fell to the ground and started crying, telling himself that he doesn't want to become a villain, he wants to save people. As Izuku starts repeating this over and over again. But then, all of a sudden, Izuku's mind just blacks out. As we switch to the real world, All Might actually punched Izuku many times to knock him out, so Izuku doesn't rampage anymore, as he was actually leaning on buildings and was falling over in this small alleyway. So All Might had to punch Izuku to make him knocked out. As Izuku transformed back into his regular human form, Bakugo was about to rush at him, but All Might stopped him. When Izuku woke up, immediately, Izuku's eyes grew green, and he got a vision. A vision of him standing next to All For One and helping him kill All Might. As he started to kill All Might, as he sees himself picking up All Might and eating him. As Izuku's horrified as he starts crying. As All Might walks up next to him and asks Izuku what was going on. As Izuku turns his head and sees All Might smile. As Izuku gets a glimmer of hope and tells himself that if he knows anything, he'll change the future in any way that he possibly can, and that he won't let All Might die to his hands. As Izuku turns his head and looks at All Might with tears in his eyes as he smiles at All Might. As All Might wondered what happened to Izuku, as he's not sure what Izuku's sad about, as it was just an accident. As Izuku started apologizing to everyone, telling them that he accidentally used his quirk, as the crowd around him and Bakugo wondered why Izuku used this quirk at that moment. As Izuku kept on walking home, as he left the area, All Might interjects and asks Izuku if he's alright, as he said he felt like he was unstable at that moment. As Izuku started to explain to All Might that he was fine and nothing happened to him. As All Might just looked at Izuku and said that he's lying to him. As Izuku sighs and asks All Might if he can trust him. As All Might nods his head, telling Izuku that Izuku can trust him and that he won't be telling anyone. As Izuku starts explaining everything to All Might. As All Might starts laughing, telling Izuku that his sidekick back in the day also had a similar ability, just like Izuku. And tells Izuku that they can change the future if they work together. As Izuku's confused what All Might means. Then All Might laughs, telling Izuku that he wants to pass on his powers to him, as Izuku inspired him, trying to become a hero all the time and trying his hardest not to become a villain. That's a true meaning of a hero, as he ran in to save Bakugo no matter the consequences. As All Might said, this is a true quality of a hero, and he wants to pass on his power to Izuku. As Izuku started crying, as Izuku just fell to the ground, as he didn't know if he was worthy to inherit All Might's power. That's right, I'm giving Izuku one for all, but don't worry, it's for a good reason, and the story is still gonna be good. Don't think that he's gonna be too overpowered. Yes, he's gonna be overpowered, but not too much. Okay, so let's just continue on with the story now. As Izuku is still crying, he looks up at All Might and tells All Might that he would be honored to be All Might's successor. As All Might starts laughing, telling Izuku to stop crying. As Izuku wipes off his tears and smiles at All Might. As Izuku wakes up the next morning, he remembers All Might telling him to meet him at an abandoned beach. Izuku not wanting to be late, he immediately got ready and started running toward the beach. As Izuku got there, he saw that All Might was already there waiting for him. As Izuku apologized for being late, as All Might told him that he also just got there. Then All Might started to tell Izuku that he looks ready to inherit One for All, as he pulled out a strand of hair and told Izuku to eat it. As Izuku looked at the strand of hair, he remembered the time when he said that he'd be honored to be All Might's successor. As Izuku thinks of himself, thinking that he was so stupid for saying that. As he looks at the hair, All Might starts to explain, telling Izuku that he needs a piece of his DNA to completely inherit his power. As Izuku just picks up the strand of hair and puts it in his mouth, as he chews on it and swallows it. But as immediately as he swallows it, a vision appears. A vision of him helping All Might fight All for One. As Izuku relieves a sigh of relief, thinking that this is his path in becoming a hero. After a few hours pass, All Might tells Izuku that it's probably time that they try One for All out. As Izuku uses One for All in one part of his body and punches the mid-air. As Izuku feels a bit of backlash, but not as much, as the pain dissipates over time. As Izuku is using One for All, since after for a few months, Izuku's been able to train with All Might properly, so he's able to use One for All more efficiently. As All Might told Izuku that he should be using One for All flowing through his body, everywhere in his body, as Izuku uses full cowling for the first time. As Izuku's learning how to use One for All, Izuku also sees a glimpse of all these different Titan forms, as Izuku wonders if he can use them. As Izuku turns into his regular attack Titan, he uses One for All in it, as he turns into the Armor Titan, as Izuku's wondering what's going on. As Izuku turns back to his human form, he asks All Might what was that, as All Might tells Izuku that One for All evolves the user's quirk when they get it. So Izuku's quirk must have evolved for him to get different Titan forms, as Izuku smiles, realizing that he can become a hero with this new power. For the next few months, Izuku's been able to use another 3 Titan forms: his regular attack Titan, the Armor Titan, and the Warhammer Titan. I know I went like straight to the Warhammer Titan, but I want him to have it because it's pretty cool, okay? That's like my favorite Titan, so I'm gonna give it to him. As Izuku meets up with All Might on the day of the entrance exams, as All Might started to explain to Izuku and started giving him some tips on the entrance exams, as Izuku told All Might that he needed to leave because the UA exam was about in like 2 hours, as All Might said goodbye and so did Izuku. As Izuku got to the UA gates, he walked into the gates and he was about to trip, but he stopped himself, as Uraraka didn't need to do anything this time. But Bakugo sees Izuku, as Bakugo's actually very angry at Izuku, but as he sees Izuku, like, you know, entering UA gates as he's about to take the entrance exams, as Bakugo gets angry as he doesn't want to go to the same school as Izuku, as he thinks that Izuku is still a huge monster. As Bakugo thinks to himself, thinking that Izuku has a pretty good chance in going to UA, as Bakugo doesn't want to go to UA if Izuku does. But Bakugo thinks to himself, thinking that if he wants to become a hero, he's going to have to go to UA, and there's no choice if Izuku goes to UA or not. As Bakugo stops himself from attacking Izuku, as he calmly walks away from Izuku as he enters the building. As everyone starts to take the written portion of the exam, as Izuku does the same just like in canon, as he's just like his smart personality, and he's been like, you know, taught by the UA teachers. So I would say that Izuku gets like about the same score just like in the exam, maybe a bit higher but not too much. As Izuku gets to the orientation room where President Mike starts to explain the robot situation, where he starts to explain the 3-pointer, the 2-pointer, and the 1-pointer. Then he tells everyone about the 0-pointer. As everyone thinks that the 0-pointer is going to be weak since it costs like 0 points. As everyone gets ready, as they get to the exam center, as they all start stretching and getting ready. As Izuku sees Bakugo, he wanted to talk to him as he was going to walk up to him. But then, Ida stops him, telling him to not disturb other students. As Izuku doesn't say anything and just walks back. But then, all of a sudden, the gates open as President Mike yells, "Go, go, go!" As everyone starts rushing in, as Izuku decides just to use one for all for the time being, as he starts, like, you know, defeating many robots. As Bakugo gets annoyed by this and he gets frustrated, as he starts leaping from robot to robot, not giving a crap in how many points that they are. As Izuku starts defeating more robots as well. As Izuku is defeating robots, all of a sudden, Izuku hears a loud thump as he sees the 0-pointer. As everyone's running back, either scared or not even giving a crap in how many points the 0-pointers are. As they're running back, Izuku sees a girl screaming for help. As Izuku decides that this would be another redemption for him. As Izuku uses his Titan form as he turns into the Warhammer Titan. As he uses his Titan and uses one for all. As he pulls back his hammer and smashes the 0-point robot straight in the head, as he crushes the 0-point robot into tiny pieces. As Izuku used his hands to pick up all the rubble, and he picked up Uraraka in his giant hands. As Uraraka thanked Izuku, Izuku just nodded his head and put Uraraka back on the ground, as he turned back to his regular self. Hey guys, I think this is where I'm gonna end the video off for now. If you guys liked it, and if you guys want another part to what if Deku was a Titan shifter, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Even though that this part was kind of rushed, I hope you guys still like it. And let's talk about the Discord, guys. Like, still be nice to each other. Like, I've had people being mean in the Discord server. Like, my only rule in that server is to be nice. So I just want to repeat that again. Just be nice to each other. And other than that, guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys later.